So in this video, I'm going to show you how to install the Trelica Browser Extension and Browser Helper using an MDM to macOS. I'm going to be using simple MDM. It's quite widely used MDM, but you could be using Kanji, Jamf, any similar macOS MDM. So I've got a clean virtual machine set up here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of profiles for pushing to the device. So I'm going to click Create Profile and then Custom Configuration Profile down here. Now I've got two configuration files ready, which I'm going to upload. The first one is going to force install the browser extensions. And in order to show you this, I'm going to use iMazing, which is a profile editor. You can edit these profiles, though, by hand in a text editor as well. So this one is, as I say, going to force install the browser extensions. Pretty straightforward. And it's going to be for Firefox, Chrome, and Microsoft Edge. The second one is going to be for the configuration settings for the browser helper. And again, I can just load this into iMazing to show you. And it's got two attributes, the organization ID and the Trelica domain. Now you can also edit these in the text editor. So if we open those in Visual Studio Code, scroll down, and it's this section here you need to alter. So nothing else, just the org ID and the domain, everything else must stay the same. And if you need to get the org ID, that is shown to you when you download the browser helper, or you can go over to your Trelica instance, to the profile, just click on that, scroll down, and then the organization ID is shown at the bottom here. So you can copy that to the clipboard. The host is at the top there, so either app.trelica.com or eu.trelica.com, and then come in and we can just paste that in there. I'm not going to save it because it was no change, it's already saved, but I'm going to go back now to Simple MDM and upload those settings as a configuration profile. So the first one is the browser extension one. So just selecting that. This is actually a signed profile. You can upload signed or unsigned. Simple MDM doesn't mind. Some MDMs do require signed profiles, but you'll be familiar with that if you're already using your MDM. Okay, so the second profile I'm going to upload now is the Trelica Browser Helper. And this is the settings. So that's the org ID and the host. Okay, so we'll upload that, and not particularly important, but it is macOS only, so we can then save that. Okay, so we've created those two profiles in Simple MDM, and the next step is to go over to the device and assign those profiles to the device. So I'm going to go to the Profiles tab for this virtual machine, and then go and assign the profiles. So the two that we uploaded, the force install and the Trelica Browser Helper settings, just assign those. And then we can go over to the virtual machine and have a look. They do get pushed quite quickly. And yep, we can see those, the profiles have been deployed already. Now it's important you push the two profiles first before you deploy the browser helper package. We're going to do that now though. So in Simple MDM, this is done by creating an application in the catalog and then assigning that. So first of all, we'll go and create the application. Simple MDM uses something called Monkey. It's going to be a custom app in Simple MDM's case. Again, this will depend on your MDM, but again, you'll be familiar with pushing applications. So with the custom app, I'm going to upload the helper package and that'll get uploaded. It's quite small, 42K. It'll now be processed in the background. And what Simple MDM is doing is extracting from that things like the package version and other metadata. So yeah, that's now done. You can see version 1.3, monkey only. And we're now going to add this catalog item into an assignment. So I've got something called an assignment group here in Simple MDM. So I'll just search for Trelica Browser Helper and search for the device I want to deploy to. So keeping it simple, just one device, I'm going to sync that across. And then we'll go back over to the virtual machine and we can look at the Managed Software Center. That's just the UI that Simple MDM has. And you'll see that update is coming in automatically and is being processed. Okay, so let's start off by loading up Firefox and seeing how that's working. So it's the first time I've run Firefox on this VM. So it's going to make me click various buttons. Okay, that's done. And if we go up to the extensions icon here, you can see the Trelica extension is present. And if I click through on it, you see it's also identified the user automatically. So we didn't have to log in. It knows from the user's login on the machine who the user is in Trelica. Do the same for Chrome. And again, it's the first time I've run Chrome. Chrome is going to persuade me to make it its default. And again, get rid of the dialogues. And you can see the browser extension here. Trelica is already present. I can click on that and you'll see that we're logged in still. So again, nothing required. That was all picked up automatically. Finally, let's look at Microsoft Edge. So again, first time I've run this. Edge is also keen to make us click various buttons. So we'll click through as quickly as we can. And now we're in, we can go up to the extension and there we go, Trelica is present. And we're logged in as the user. Okay, so that was Firefox, Chrome and Edge. What about Safari? So normally you'd have to download Safari from the App Store. I can't do that on a virtual machine, unfortunately. So what I've done is I've got an executable, which I'm just going to copy across from my other machine. And we're just going to run that. So copy it across and run. Now, the first thing you'll see is the domain and the organization ID have been picked up automatically by the extension app that wraps the Safari extension. So there's nothing to do here. If the config profile hadn't been deployed, then it would ask me to enter those manually, but it's been picked up automatically, so there's no save button. It's just read only. I now click through to finish the setup. Safari requires you to do this, unfortunately. So it's just a one-off thing at the start. And it's also just needs to be rerun, I think, to pick things up. And we can click through. And there we go. We're logged in on Safari as well. So that was an example of how we deploy the browser extension and the helper with an MDM for Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and Safari.